Hello YouTubers! Today we are going to make this tie-dyed rainbow gift package cake. It has candy ribbon and candy bow, and inside is all the colors of the rainbow in a tie-dyed effect. Let's go ahead and whip up this cake. To make our rainbow gift cake, you are going to need a box of white cake mix, eggs, oil, some water. You're going to need food coloring. You're going to need red, yellow, blue, and green. Some of our snowy white buttercream frosting. A link to that video is in the description. And Air Nerds Extreme. These are rainbow berry. And you can find these at Walgreens. I will put a link to their website so you can find the product locally. Let's go ahead and get started. I prepared my cake mix per the instructions on the box. And I divided it up amongst these 6 different bowls. And I've colored them all the colors of the rainbow. So we have red, blue, orange, purple, green, and yellow. Now we're ready to put our cake together. I've prepared 2 6-inch cake pans. And now we're ready to put our batter in. So I'm going to start with one here. And so you can see it. And what we're going to do is spoon our batter in layers. The first layer I'm going to put down is red, and I'm just going to spoon a couple tablespoons into the middle of the pan. Now on top of that, in the middle, I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of orange. And then yellow, green, blue, and purple, just the same way, continually just putting it in the middle and letting it spread out, and we'll do that for both pans. I've got my first layer done in each of my pans. I just wanted to show you what it's going to kind of look like. It's just kind of forming rings, and it spreads out as you put the batter into the middle of the pan. You want to try to not mix your colors, though you may get a drip here or there. That's fine. I have all my layers complete. I used all the batter. Now we'll go ahead and bake this in a 350-degree oven until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. While our cakes are cooling, I've lined this baking sheet with some parchment paper, and I've laid out 4 of our Air Nerds, and I cut 1 to 2.5 inches for the smaller one. We're going to put this in a preheated 325-degree oven for 6 minutes. Our Air Nerds have cooled down enough to handle. I've got the smaller of them. I'm just going to take it and form it into a single loop, pressing firmly where they meet. This is going to be the top loop for our bow. Now I'm going to take one of my long strips of Air Nerds, and we're going to make our basic bow here. I'm going to bring one end into the middle and squeeze it down tightly, and then bring the other end in and press it firmly. And now I can take my fingers and open these loops up a little bit so it's more like a bow. And we'll do this for all 4 of our long strips of Air Nerds. I'm going to put it on a plate on its edge, and we'll put these in the refrigerator for 15 minutes or until they get completely hardened. Our Air Nerds have hardened, and what we did by baking it is we basically turned what is kind of a limp type of candy into hard candy that's going to hold its shape. Now we're ready to put our bow together. To make our bow, I've got 1 loop set here, and in this bag I've got some of our buttercream frosting with a simple small round decorator tip. If you don't have a decorator tip, you could just use a knife. And I'm going to put a fairly generous portion of buttercream into the middle of this loop. Then we'll take another loop and put it on, and we'll make kind of a cross here. We're going to use the buttercream as our glue for our bow. And now we'll just keep building up our bow here. We've got our 4 large loops put together, and now in the center we're going to put our single loop. And there we have our very basic bow. I'll put this in the refrigerator and let the buttercream set up, and we'll just leave it there until we're ready to put it on top of the cake. I've leveled our cakes and I stacked them with a layer of the buttercream in between. I just wanted to show you before we frost the entire cake this cool rainbow tie-dyed effect that we created with this process. I frosted the entire cake in our snowy white buttercream frosting. I also put a toothpick here in the center of our cake for reference for our decorations, which is up next. To start the decorating process, I took 6 of my Airhead Extremes, and it is Airhead. I think I've called them Air Nerds. It's actually Airheads, and I evenly spaced them around the cake. Now I'm just going to go around and press them into the buttercream, and I'm going to put the very end at the very bottom of our cake. Alright, I've got my ribbons on and they're fairly evenly spaced. It looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of our buttercream, again in this pastry bag, and I'm going to go around the bottom of the cake up just maybe about ½ an inch from the bottom, and then we'll put some more Airheads around the base. I have my ribbons going up the cake, and I've got my Airheads all the way around the base for our border. And now it's time to put on our bow. To attach our bow, I'm going to take some of my buttercream and I'm just going to put a bunch right here in the center. I've still got the mark from where my toothpick was. Got a big glob of buttercream there in the middle. Now we're going to carefully take our bow that we made and put it right in the middle. And here you have our tie-dyed rainbow gift cake, all complete. Let's go ahead and cut off a slice and see what it looks like inside. And here is the slice of our cake, and now you can see the really cool rainbow tie-dyed effect on the inside. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please join our channel. We hope to see you back soon.